What if the very first heartbeat of a new country wasn't a speech or a declaration on paper, but a sound? A single voice just cutting right through the static on the radio. Well, today, we're going to dive into the story of that voice, Radio Pakistan. This is an institution that's so much more than just a broadcaster. It's a witness to history, the sound that literally announced the birth of a nation.
So, I want you to just picture the scene. It's the final tense moments of August 13th, 1947. A brand new nation is basically holding its breath. And then, right at the stroke of midnight, those words crackle through the airwaves. This wasn't just some news update. This was the first heartbeat of a country broadcast for everyone to hear. A nation's entire history kicking off with a simple radio announcement.
So to really get the story of Radio Pakistan, you have to start right there. At that exact moment, its journey is completely, and I mean completely tied up with the nation's own birth. Just think about the sheer scale of that challenge for a second. You have a brand new country, it's vast, it's diverse, and the main way you have to reach all its people is through just 3 small radio stations. That's it. That is a massive job with a very, very humble beginning. And get this, these weren't even new buildings or anything. The stations in Peshawar, Lahore, and what was then Dhaka, they were all set up before partition. So these 3 existing pieces of infrastructure, they suddenly became the foundational building blocks for the brand new Pakistan Broadcasting Service.
Okay, so you've got these limited resources. What was the goal? What was this new broadcaster actually supposed to do? I can tell you it was about a lot more than just playing music. It was given a very specific and incredibly important job. That mission eventually became official on December 20th, 1972. The organization grew up, really. It went from a service to the Pakistan Broadcasting Corporation, or PBC. And this was a huge step. It gave the broadcaster a proper legal framework and a really clear purpose as a public service medium, a role it still has to this day.
And the really crucial part is right here, in its official mandate. It's basically a 5-part mission. Yeah, sure, it had to inform, educate, and entertain. That's standard. But look a little closer. It was also tasked with reflecting all the country's diverse regions, promoting its culture, working towards national unity, and, this is so important, broadcasting in all the different languages for every single community. This was literally nation building through the airwaves. Of course, trying to pull off that ambitious plan with just 3 stations was, well, it was impossible. So the next chapter of this story is all about growth, a really fast and strategic expansion to try and connect every single corner of the country. And you can actually see the strategy play out right here on this timeline. It kicks off with major cities in 48, then it expands to key regional hubs in the 50s, like Quetta, the heart of Baluchistan. By the 70s, they're not just launching a world service to talk to the globe, they're also pushing into the really remote northern areas like Gilgit and Skardu, places that were strategically vital to connect. And the 80s and 90s, well, they just kept going, pushing even further out. This was a deliberate, decade-by-decade mission to make sure no part of the nation was left in silence. So all of that historical expansion, it brings us to today. After all that work, what does Radio Pakistan actually sound like now? Well, it's this huge, diverse mosaic of content that honestly really reflects the country itself. I want you to just look at this number for a second. 34. What do you think that represents for a national broadcaster? It's not the number of stations, it's not the number of channels, it's something way more fundamental to its entire mission. It's the number of languages, 34 different languages. This is the direct result of that core mission we talked about, that promise to broadcast in all languages for all communities. From the major national languages to smaller regional ones, this number, right here, shows an incredible commitment to that diversity. And that diversity, it's not just in the language, it's in the actual content too. You've got your dedicated news services, you've got popular music channels like FM 101, community focus networks, and specific religious programming. It's a broadcaster that has really learned how to serve all kinds of different audiences with different needs. So, after this whole journey, from just a few little stations to this massive modern network, what is the legacy of this enduring voice? And maybe more importantly, what does its future look like? When it comes down to it, the big takeaway is this. For nearly 8 decades, Radio Pakistan has been so much more than just a radio.
It was the voice that announced independence, the tool that was used to try and stitch a diverse country together, and for millions, it's been a companion in their homes and in their cars. It is truly a living piece of the nation's history. Which, of course, leaves us with one final and really crucial question. In our world today, a world that is just filled with on-demand streaming, podcasts, and endless global media, what is the purpose of an institution like this? What role does a national public broadcaster even play anymore? That's definitely something worth thinking about.